Good morning, students. Today we discuss the topic elasticity. Elasticity means it is the property of a body by virtue of which it regains its original position and shape after withdrawing the deforming force. Deformation means changing the form of a body is called deforming. So, the force which changes the shape or size of a body is called a deforming force. Okay, when this particular deforming force is removed, then the body regains its original position and original shape or original size. Then that particular body is called elastic body. So, elasticity is the property of a body by virtue of which it regains its original shape and size after withdrawing the deforming force. So, the contrary to this elastic body, there is a plastic body, that means which does not regain its original shape and size even after the withdrawal of this deforming force is called plastic body. Okay, elasticity and plasticity. Okay, elasticity is the molecular phenomena, but it is a microscopic property, but we study on macroscopic level. So, in this we define term stress. Stress means the restoring force per unit area. Okay, restoring force by area of the body. So, restoring force per unit area is called stress actually. Restoring force means the force which restores the shape and size within which is developed within the body after withdrawing the external force, it restores to their original shape and size is called a restoring force. So, that particular restoring force is always equal and opposite to the applied force. Okay, remember that restoring force is always equal to applied force. So, we can calculate the stress by applied force by unit area, but actually it is restoring force per unit area, but restoring force is always equal and opposite to the applied force. Okay. Now, when the body is deformed, there may be a change in its size or may be a change in its shape. So, we define another physical quantity called strain. Strain, which is called, it is the ratio of initial dimension, change in dimension to original dimension. Okay, change in dimension to original dimension. This dimension may be length, area, volume, whatever it is. Okay, change in length by original length, change in area by original area, change in volume by original volume. So, that is called strain. Okay, that means the ratio of change in dimension to original dimension is called strain. Okay. So, here the stress is, units of the stress is, it is as nothing but restoring force per unit area, its unit is Newton per meter square or dyne per centimeter square in CGS units. Whereas strain, it is change in dimension to, that means the ratio of the same physical quantity, it has no units. Okay, remember this. So, strain has no units and stress has units Newton per meter square. Okay. Now, next one, Hooke's law. Okay. Suppose a body is deformed. Just suppose if we apply a force on a particular elastic body, if we go on increasing this deforming force, there will be an extension in that wire. Suppose assume a rubber wire or a rubber cord. Suppose if we stretch it by a force, then there will be an elongation in that particular rubber cord. But we keep on increasing this force, what happens is at a particular applied force, this rubber cord may break. That means it loses its elasticity. That means there is a limit on the deforming force that to be applied on a particular body, elastic body. Okay. After exceeding that particular limit, if the applied force exceeds that particular limit, that particular body loses its elastic nature. So, the maximum force that can be applied to a particular body so that it retains its elastic nature is called elastic limit. Okay? So, elastic limit is the maximum applied force that can be applied to a particular elastic body so that it can retain its elastic nature. If the applied force exceeds that particular value, it loses its elastic nature. So, that is called elastic limit. Okay. Now, within this elastic limit, that means when that particular body exhibit elastic nature, the stress or strain, the strain produced in the body is proportional to the stress applied on the body. That is simple example. If we keep on increasing the force, the length of the rubber wire increases. Okay. So, that is why the strain produced in a body is proportional to stress. So, the ratio stress to strain, this is applied. The strain is proportional to stress within elastic limit. You have to remember this one. Within elastic limit. Okay? And this is called Hooke's law. This is called Hooke's law. Okay? So, Hooke's law means within the elastic limit, the strain produced in a body, elastic body, is proportional to the stress applied on the body. Okay? Now, the ratio of this stress to strain is a constant. From this, we can write the ratio of stress to strain is a constant, and this particular constant is called modulus of elasticity. This is called modulus of elasticity. Okay, there are three different types of modulus of elasticity. Three different types of elasticities. The first one is Young's modulus, bulk modulus, rigidity modulus. Okay. So, this Young's modulus is denoted by capital Y, this rigidity modulus is denoted by capital K, and Young's bulk modulus is represented by capital K and rigidity modulus by eta. So, these are the three different types of elastic moduli, and this first one is called Young's modulus. Actually, everyone is a ratio of stress and strain, but this Young's modulus is the ratio of longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. Okay. Longitudinal stress means the stress that changes, that is applied along the length of the body. Okay. Longitudinal stress means the stress that is applied along the length of the body, and longitudinal strain means the changes are within the body along the length of the body. Okay. Now, the force applied is along the length and changes in the body is also along the length. Now, bulk modulus is volume stress by volume strain. And so that means stress is applied on the whole body. That means, so equal amount of force or restoring pressure is applied on a particular body from all sides of the body, so that that particular body volume changes, then that is called the ratio of that particular stress to strain is called bulk modulus, and rigidity modulus is called shearing stress by shearing strain. Here shearing means that changes the shape of the body. Okay, that means a stress which changes the shape of the body is called shearing stress, and corresponding changes shape of the body is called shearing strain. So the ratio of shearing stress to shearing strain is rigidity modulus. Okay, remember these three: longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain, volume stress by volume strain, shearing stress by shearing strain. Now we will go through the individually one after the other. First you take Young's modulus. Okay, longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. That means the force is applied along the length of the body, and here longitudinal strain means there is a change in length by original length. So longitudinal stress, this can be written as Y is equal to stress is F by A, that is stress. Here we can write like this: the applied force per unit area is stress, and here the longitudinal strain means change in length by original length, longitudinal strain. So Y is equal to F by A, by sometimes we may write is elongation by length. Change in length is called elongation. So elongation by length. So this can be written as F by A into E by L, L by E. So Y equal to FL by AE. You remember this formula. And here F is, if a load is attached to a wire, then this particular force is mg, mgl by AE. So this Young's modulus. Okay. Okay, remember this formula. Now the unit of Young's modulus is again, because this is a unitless physical quantity and it has units Newton per meter square. So Young's modulus is also, every moduli of elasticity has units Newton per meter square. Okay, and next one, bulk modulus. Suppose if you consider a spherical body like this, equal amount of force is applied along its surface in all directions, then the volume of this particular body changes. So here we are applying pressure means force per unit area, dimensionally it is equal to stress. So bulk modulus K is equal to force by area by change in volume, delta V by V. By applying this pressure, there will be a decrease in its volume. Okay. So this can be written as, so this particular force per area applied on this particular body is called pressure. So P by delta V into V. So this is PV by delta V. Actually, due to the application of this force, there is a decrease in volume. We always denote it by minus sign. So if delta V is always be negative quantity. Okay. So bulk modulus is calculated by this particular one. And next one, shearing modulus, shearing stress. Suppose if you consider in 2 dimension, suppose this is a rectangular body. Now by keeping this particular lower surface of the body fixed one, by applying a force along the upper surface like this, then there will be a displacement of this layer like this. Okay. Now this may be delta x and this is the length of the wire. Then if alpha is the angle of shear, then the rigidity modulus is given by F by A into this one, theta. Usually it is taken as tan theta. For small angles it is approximately equal to F by A theta, and the theta is from this triangle, theta equal to x by L. Or here also we can write theta is equal to x by L. That means here the rectangular form changes to like this, a parallelogram. That means a rectangular area changes to a parallelogram. So in this way, there is no change in the volume or area of the body. If you consider in 3 dimensions, there may be no change in its volume, but shape of the body changes. Okay, that particular one is called shearing stress and shearing strain. Okay, so rigidity modulus is calculated by this particular formula. So remember these 3. Okay, y is equal to mg L by AE. Bulk modulus K equal to PV by delta V. Rigidity modulus equal to F by A theta, where theta equal to, you can calculate from the displacements. Okay. You remember all this. And if a wire is fixed like this, if anyone, you get any formula like this, if a wire is fixed or a rod is fixed and it is twisted from the lower end, fixed at upper end and twisted like this, lower end, then the angle of twist is given by R phi by L, where angle of shearing angle is given by, where phi is the angle through which it is twisted. So theta is given by R phi by L. You remember this formula also for this shearing stress. Now we define another physical quantity called Poisson ratio. So Poisson ratio is given as, defined as lateral strain by longitudinal strain. Okay. So lateral strain means, suppose if you consider a wire like this, if it is loaded so that it extends longitudinally, that means there is a change in its length. At the same time, there will be a decrease in its width. Okay. When there is a change in its length, there is a decrease in its width, and that is called lateral strain. That means this one. Okay. So the lateral strain by longitudinal strain, ratio of these two is called Poisson ratio. Okay. Now, when a particular elastic body is to be stretched, so that means when we have to stretch an elastic body, we have to apply a force. That means this particular force, that means work has to be done against the restoring force. Okay. When we apply the deforming force, restoring forces always opposite this deformation. So we have to do work against these restoring forces, and that is stored in this elastic body as elastic energy. Okay, remember that. So elastic, it is stored in elastic energy, and that particular elastic energy is called strain energy, what we can call strain energy. It is also called strain energy, and that strain energy is given by, that strain energy is equal to half into force into elongation. You remember this one, half F by E, half Fe. Suppose if we divide the strain energy per unit volume, if we define strain energy per unit volume, means strain energy divided by volume, that equal to half Fe by volume. Volume can be written as area into length, so that we can define as half F by A into E by L. So this F by A is stress and E by L is strain. So strain energy per unit volume is equal to half stress into strain. Remember this also. So half into stress into strain is strain energy per unit volume, but strain energy is simply equal to half Fe. Now in case of spring constant K, the amount of work done is given by half Kx square. In case of spring problems, I remember that half Kx square, where K is the force constant where K is the force constant, X is the elongation. So work done is equal to half Kx square in the case of springs, and in case of wires you remember that work done or strain energy is equal to half Fe. Okay, now we solve some problems in this topic. One minute. I solve this one. We solve some problems in these ones. So page number 193. Problem number 110. A load of 4 kg is suspended from a ceiling through a steel wire of length 20 meter and radius 20 millimeter. It is found that the length of the wire is increased by 0.031 millimeter as equilibrium is achieved. If G is equal to 0.31 into pi meter square per second square, then the value of Young's modulus is. Okay. So here a wire of length 20 meter and radius 2 millimeter, that is 2 10 power minus 3 meter, loaded by a 4 kg, M equal to 4 kg, and elongation is 0.031 mm is 10 power minus 3 meter, and given G is equal to 3.1 into 10 to pi. Then find the Young's modulus. So Y is equal to have mg L by AE, but here A radius is given, so we can write it as mg L by pi r square E. So M is 4 kg, G is this one, 3.1 into pi, length is 20 by pi 0.0 pi r square. R square means this one, 4 into 10 power minus 6. Elongation is this one, 0.31 into 10 power minus 3. This. So this pi will cancel, and this can be written as 80, 3.1 by, so 1 minute. This 4 also get cancelled. 20 into 3.1 by 10 power minus 9 into, this can also 1, 2, 3.1 into 10 power minus 2. So this also get cancelled. This is 20 into 10 to the power minus 11. That is 2 into 10 power minus 12. Newton per meter square. Next one, 111. Two wires of equal cross section, but one made up of steel and other copper, are joined end to end. When the combination is kept under tension, the elongation in the two wires are found to be equal. then the ratio of the lengths of the two wires is, okay, two wires of equal cross section, but one made up of steel and other made up of copper joined end to end. When this combination is kept under a tension, the elongations in the two wires are found to be equal. Then the ratio of the lengths of the two wires is, okay. So to calculate that, first you have to remember Young's modulus Y is equal to FL by AE. This one you have to remember. So here a wire is made like this, a wire is made joined like this. This is steel wire and another one is copper wire, both the wires. So a load is attached to the both them, so that the extension produced in the steel wire and because the extensions produced may be different, so the extension produced in this one are equal, then what is the ratio of their initial lengths, that you have to find. Okay. Now we can write from this equation L is equal to Y A E by F. Okay. So Y A E by F. Now here in this problem, given that the two wires have equal cross section, so A is same. Okay. They are kept under tension. Tension is same both for copper wire and steel wire. So F is same. Next, to produce equal elongations, so E is also same. So AEF, all these three physical quantities are same. Then we can write L is proportional to Y. So ratio of steel wire to copper wire. Ratio of steel wire to copper wire is Young's modulus of steel wire to Young's modulus of copper wire. Okay, that is, they are given as, steel is given as 2 into 10 power 11 and this one is given as 1.1. So this is 20 by 11. This is the ratio. So L1 is to L2 or LS is to LC is 20 is to 11. Now 113, two exactly similar wires of steel, so of Young's modulus 2 into 10 power 11, 20 into 10 power 11 dyne per centimeter square, and copper of Young's modulus 12 into 10 power 11 dyne per centimeter square are stretched by equal forces. The total elongation is 1 centimeter. Then the elongation of copper wire is, okay. So two similar wires. Okay, two similar wires means its length and area are same. Okay, same. That means two wires, one of steel and another of copper, of same length and same area of cross section, are stretched by same force. Okay, then the total elongation is given by 1 centimeter. Okay, now same force is applied. That means here area is same, length is same. Length and area, that means are same. Stretched by same force. F is also same. Therefore, the extension produced in this is, okay, the extension produced in this wire is Okay. Now we have to calculate this one. So now assume that this is y1 and this is y2. For convenience, we are taking like this. Okay. So y is equal to FL by AE. We have this formula. So L, F, E all are same. So y is inversely proportional to E. Implies y1 by y2 is equal to E2 by E1. Okay. But another equation we have, okay. And given in the problem, the condition, another condition given is total elongation is 1 cm. That means elongation of steel wire and copper wire, sum of these three is equal to 1 centimeter. So given another condition is E1 plus E2 is equal to 1 centimeter. So from this condition we have this 20 by 12 into 10 power 11 by 10 power 11 is equal to E2 by E1. Okay, so it's cancelled. 10 means 10 by 6, that is 5 by 3. Okay, so 5 by 3 is equal to E2 by E1. Now we have to calculate the elongation of copper wire. That means we have to calculate for E2. So now write E2 in terms of E1. So E1 in terms of E2, that is E1 is equal to, from this, 3E2 by 5. Now substitute this here. So 3E2 by 5 plus E2 is equal to 1. That implies 8E2 by 5 equal to 1. Implies E2 is equal to 5 by 8 centimeter. Okay, 5 by 8 centimeter. Now 14th one. Two wires AB of same dimensions are under loads of 4 and 5.5 kg respectively. The ratio of Young's modulus of the materials of the wires for same elongation. Okay. Two wires A and B of same dimensions are under loads 4 and 5.5 kg respectively. The ratio of Young's moduli of their materials of the wires of same elongation. Okay. Same dimension means L1 equal to L2, A1 equal to A2, and given same elongation E1 equal to E2. But their loads are different. F1 equal to 4, F2 equal to 5.5 into 9.8, and here it is Newton and here it is Newton. Okay, that is given. Then the ratio of their Young's moduli. So Young's modulus is equal to FL by AE. In this, F only is different, L and E all are the same. That means 4 by 5.5. So what we can write, this implies F is proportional to F. So Y1 by Y2 is equal to F1 by F2, that is 4 by 5.5. Okay, in the options it is given like this, 8 by 11. That means multiplying both with 2, we will get 8 by 11. Now you take this one, 122. An aluminum wire and a steel wire of same length and cross section joined end to end. Okay. An aluminum wire and steel wire of same length and cross section are joined end to end. The composite wire is hung from a rigid support and a load suspended from its free end. The Young's modulus of steel is 20 by 7 times the aluminum. The ratio of increase in length of the steel and aluminum is, this is also same, aluminum same length, same cross section, that means dimensions are same. Support from a rigid support and a joint wire. Okay. The Young's modulus suspended from the composite wire. Okay. In this case, you have to calculate the ratio of increase in length. So, y is equal to Fa by Fl by Ae. In this, L and Ae are same and F is also same because same wire. Half of the part is steel, half of it is aluminum. So, it is suspended by a load. That means same load is applied to both the wires. So, we have to calculate the extensions if y1 is given. So, y is proportional to E, y1 by y2 is equal to E1 by E2, sorry, inverse, okay, E2 by E1, but it is given that y1 is equal to 20 by 7 times of y2, implies y1 by y2 is equal to 20 by 7. So, here we are writing it as 20 by 7. Now 127. A lift is tied with a thick iron wire and its mass is 1000 kg. If the maximum acceleration of the lift is 1.2 meter per second and the maximum stress of the wire is 1.4 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter, what should be the minimum diameter of the wire? Okay, so a lift is made with a wire having, once 1 minute. A lift, okay. So a lift is made with a wire, metal wire, a thick iron, okay, material is also given, iron wire. So you have to calculate the diameter of the iron wire so that the maximum acceleration of the lift is 1.2 meter per second square. So that, and the mass of that lift must be 1000 kg. Okay. Now we have this relation. Okay. Stress. One minute. Now the force is proportional to or Young's modulus, whatever it is. Not low. Okay. Now, when the lift is moving up, then its acceleration is given by g, instead of g we have to take g plus a. So when the lift is moving up, g plus a. So the force acting on that particular lift may be m into ga, because its acceleration is, lift is moving up, its acceleration is given by g plus a. So force acting on it is m into g plus a. Given mass of the lift is 1000 kg. Now this is the force acting, so this is equal to 1000 kg into 9.8 plus 1.2, given maximum acceleration is 1.2. So 10 in 10 cube into 10, that is 10 power 4, you write like this. Okay. Now but this force, given the stress on the wire is 1.4. So stress is equal to 1.4 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter square. This is the stress on the, but we know stress equal to force per unit area. So applied force per unit area. So stress equal to force by area, implies force is equal to stress into area. So already the area, okay, now we have to from this equate this. So stress into area is equal to this force. What is that force acting? It is 10 power 4. So stress is given by 1.4 into 10 to the power 8. 1.4 10 power 8 into area is equal to 10 power 4. Now this cancel out this 1. So area is equal to 1 by 4 into, 1 minute, you write like this, 1.4 into 10 to the power 4 into pi r square, area of the wire is pi r square, is equal to 1. So pi you substitute 1.4, 10 power 4, 22 by 7 into r square equal to 1. So cancel out this 0.2. Okay. It is 4.4. So 4.4 into 10 power 4 is into r square. So r square is equal to 1 divided by square root of 4.4 into 10 power 2 minus 2. That is 1 by square root of 4.4 into centimeter. So this is approximately, assume that this is root 4, then it is 1 by 2, so 0.5, 0.5 into 10 power minus 2 meter or centimeter, or if you write in centimeter it is 0.5 centimeter. Now some problems on bulk modulus. We take this formula, page number 196, problem number 143. A sphere contracts in volume by 0.01% when taken to the bottom of the lake 1 kilometer deep. So the density of water is 1 gram per cc. The bulk modulus of water is. Okay, here it is given delta V by V into 100 is equal to 0.01%. That means 0.01. Okay. Okay, the sphere contracts in volume by 0.01% when it's taken to a bottom of a lake of 1 kilometer deep. So here it is taken to a deep depth of d or h, take it as h equal to 1 kilometer depth. So when it is taken to a deep depth of 1 kilometer underwater, the pressure is given by P is equal to HdG. Okay. Now from this, bulk modulus K is equal to P by delta V by V, actually this one. So from this we have implies delta V by V is equal to 0.01 into 10 power minus 2. Totally it is 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, where P is this one, HdG. So that H is 1 kilometer. So 10 cube density of water 1 gram per cc means, writing in SI units, it is 10 cube, and G, take G, okay, 9.8 divided by 10 to the power minus 4. So total it is 10 to the power minus plus 6 minus 4 plus 6, 10 into 9.8. So 9.8 into 10 to the power 10 Newton per meter square. Okay, and similar one, 144. A sphere contracts in volume by 0.01% when subjected to a pressure of 100 atmosphere. Okay, that means 144. Given pressure is equal to 100 atmosphere. That means 100 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter. 1 atmosphere is equal to 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. And delta V by V is given as 0.01 again into 100 is equal, percentage given means you have like this. So delta V by V equal to 0.01 into 10 power minus 2, that is 10 power minus 4. Now substituting bulk modulus K equal to P by delta V by V, that is 100 means 10 to the power 7, 10 to the power 7 by 10 to the power minus 4, that is 1 into 10 to the power 11 Newton per meter square. Now the next one, 146. A copper solid cube of 60 millimeter side is subjected to a compressible pressure compressible pressure of 2.5 into 10 to the power 7 Pascal. If the bulk modulus of copper is 1.25 10 power 11 Pascal, the change in the volume of the cube is, okay, here the cube of side A is equal to 60 millimeter, that is 60 into 10 power minus 3, that is 6 into 10 power minus 2 meter, is compressed such that a pressure of P is applied 2.5 10 power 7 Pascal and bulk modulus is 1.25 10 power 11 Pascal. So calculate the change in volume. Okay, now the formula is K is equal to P by delta V into V. Implies we have to calculate delta V is equal to PV by K. but here volume is, it is a side given, so volume is equal to A cube, that is P A cube by K. So that is 2.5 into 1 to the power 7 into this one cube, that is 6 cube into 10 to the power minus 3 cube means minus 6, divided by K is 1.25 10 to the power 11. So this will get cancelled, 10 to the power 4, and 1.25 means, or you can write this 1.5. Now this 0.5 may get cancelled with this. So here it is 6 cube means 36 into 6, 10 to the power minus 6 by this one, 10 to the power 3. So 36 into 6 is 6, 3, 18 plus 3, 21 by 10 cube into 10 to the power minus 6. 1, 2, 3. G. One minute. Here it is 0.5. 0.5 means 1 by 2. Okay. Okay, here it is 5 also there. 1 minute. Into 5. Or 1 minute, like this, we can write like this. So we may write like this. 6 cube means 216 into 10 to the power minus 6 by 0.5 means 1 by 2 into 10 to the power 4. That means if you replace this 10 to the power minus 6 as centimeter square, so that is 432 into 10 to the power minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeter square. One minute. Okay. So answer is given in millimeter. Okay. You can write like this also. So you remove this. From here itself we can write 432 into 10 to the power minus 10. Okay, 432 10 to the power minus 1 into 10 to the power minus 9. So minus 9 meter square can be replaced as millimeter square. That is 43.2 millimeter square. As there is a decrease in volume, we have to indicate negative sign. Now based on the energy 197, 154, a rubber cord of length 40 centimeter and area of cross section 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square is extended by 10 centimeter. If the energy gained is 20 joule, the Young's modulus of rubber is Okay. Now we have a relation like this. We have the strain energy given as half, or U or E is equal to half F into E. Okay, but for us Young's modulus, we have this relation Fe by La. So from this we can write Fe equal to this one Yal. So we can substitute here Yal. So energy is given as half Yal. Okay. Now all these factors are given. Y is, we have to calculate Y. Given energy is 20 joule and length L is given as 40 centimeter, that is 0.4 meter, and extension, no need to write extension here. And extension is given as 10 centimeter, that is 0.1 meter, but then no need to write here. Area of cross section is given by 4 into 10 power minus 6 meter square. Now substituting all this, 20 is equal to half Y 4 into 10 power minus 6 into length 0.4. Now 40 is equal to Y into 4 into 10 power minus 6 into 0.4. So we will cancel out this 10, 1, and this goes to this side. 10 to the power 7 is equal to Y into 4 into 10 power minus 1. Also this is also 10 to the power 8 equal to 4Y. So Y equal to 1 by 4 10 to the power 8. That is 0.25 10 to the power 8. Sorry. 1 minute. Young's modulus equal to FL by AE. 1 minute. I have mistaken. So from this equation we can write for F. So F is equal to YAE by L. Now substituting this in this, E is equal to half YAE square by L. Now we have, okay, now energy is 20 given, half Y, area is 4 into 10 power minus 6, extension is given by 0.1 whole square, by length is given by 0.4. Okay, now half Y 4 10 power minus 6 into, this is 10 power minus 1 means 10 to the power minus 2 by 4 into 10 to the power minus 1. So 1 by 2. So one of these 4 will get cancelled, and this 10 power minus 1 get cancelled, minus 1 minus 6 minus 7. So here 40 is equal to Y into 10 power minus 7. So it comes to 4 into 10 power 8 equal to Y. If the work done in stretching a wire by 1 millimeter is 2 joule, the work necessary for stretching another wire of same material but with double radius of cross section and half the length by 1 mm in joules is. Okay. So 155 problem. So to stretch elongation is 1 millimeter, the work done is 2 joule. Okay, from this we can write 2 is equal to, we have this relation half F can be written as YA E by L into E. So that is half 1 by E by A E square by L. So this is given. So this is 2. First of all, it is given as 2. Now in the second case, stretch another wire of same material. The same material means Young's modulus is same. Double the radius of cross section, half the length. Okay, you take it as W1. This as W1. For W2 we have, and W1 is 2 joule. And here the extension is also same. Length by 1 millimeter. So extension is also same. So from this we can write, 1 minute. Young's modulus is same. So W is proportional to A by L. So we can write W1 by W2 is equal to A1 by L1, L2 by A2. So here W1 is 2, 2 by W2 is equal to A1 by L1 into, now the given is radius of cross section is double. Radius of cross section is double means area of cross section becomes 4 times. So 4A1 and length is half. So L1 by 2. So this area is cancelled, L1 is cancelled. 1 by 8. So W2 is equal to 8 into 2, so 16 joule. Now 157. A stress of 10 to the power 7 Pascal produces a strain 4 into 10 to the power minus 3. Then the energy stored per unit volume is, already we have explained it. Energy stored per unit volume is equal to half stress into strain. So simple one, that is half 10 power 7, 4 into 10 power minus 3. That is 2 into 10 to the power 4 joule per meter cube. Next one. Okay, 161. A spring of spring constant 5 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per meter, given K is like this, is stretched initially by 5 centimeter from unstretched position. The work done required to stretch it further by another 5 centimeter is, okay. Now, initial extension is 5 centimeter, means 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Okay. Now, the work done in stretching this amount of extension is, work done is equal to half kx square. Okay. Initial extension. Now, from this position, it is extended to another position called second position x2. That is 10 centimeter from initial position. So, the difference in energy is work done to required from this position to this position. Okay, that means initially it is original length, it is extended to 5 centimeter. To extend another 5 centimeter, work done is. So, first you have to calculate from initial to this one and from initial to this one. Subtracting this from this, you will get the extent work done to required from this position to this position. So, we can write like this, minus half k x1 square. So, work done is half k x2 square minus x1 square. So, half k value is 5 into 10 power minus 3 into extensions 10 square, 10 to the power minus 2 whole square means 10 to the power minus 4, minus 5 square into 10 to the power minus 4. That is half 5, 10 power minus 3, 10 power plus 3 into 10 to the power minus 4 into 100 minus 25, 75. That is half 75 into 5, 10 power minus 1. 75 into 5 is 350 plus 25, 375. Half into 375 into 10 to the power minus 1. That is 37.5 by 2. That is 8.75 Newton meter.